Hi, welcome back to Unbothered. I'm your host, Chloe.
Hi, Chloe.
This is
Hi.
Alexa.
I'm Alexa.
Hi, I'm Anastasia.
This is Anastazia Dupee. She is a TikTok star that we love because she is so well known for her big sister advice.
Chloe and I were talking about, we want to do this podcast about friendship, who's someone we should bring on to have this conversation with. Anastasia was the first person I thought of because I think the advice that you give on TikTok, there's so many people giving dating advice, whatever advice. I feel like you really give the advice of teaching people how to accept and create boundaries in their life around friendship and relationships outside of just dating. Because you're married to an amazing guy. You're not in the dating trenches like me. I do love how you speak on friendship and valuing yourself in all relationships. And you've been a great friend to me. And every time I talk to you, we just talk about friendship and we talk about female friendships and how rare it is and how special it is and what we value in them. And yeah, I'm so excited that you're here with us today.
I feel honored.
The first time Anastasia and I hung out, this is what we talked about.
Literally. And how hard it is to make new friends at every stage of your life. But I feel like, especially when you're in your late 20s, it's harder to make friends. Do you guys agree?
I also think it's harder to keep friends in your late 20s because you have such a higher standard for how you're treated in like romantic relationships and you've learned all these things and it has bled into your friendships. So I feel like even when we're younger, we accept such weird behavior from friends. And then as we get older and we start learning more about ourselves and what we actually like, we're like, okay, so what do you like to do outside of going to the club?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you have school when you're younger. Like there's high school, college, places that you're at where other people your age are.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of make friends
Exactly.
so much easier as an adult. How do you meet? How are people meeting new people?
How are you meeting new friends? Because you're not going to meet them at your work because maybe at your work, they're a lot older or they're not really your type of people. And then if you work at home, it's even harder. And it's hard to approach a girl on a workout class. It's just like,
I mean,
it's
you
harder.
moved to LA with your husband like a year and a half ago?
Yes.
2 years ago?
2 years ago almost.
And you already have a whole friend group in LA. So you're good at this.
But I'm also not shy. Like if I see a girl on social media that I think is so cute and I like her style, like I'll text her and be like, hi, want to grab coffee?
Me
Or-
to you.
Yeah, literally. And I was like, hell yeah. And we had a coffee and we immediately clicked and
Here we are.
the rest is history.
The rest is history. I have tips on making friends in your late 20s, 30s, because I'm a freak of nature that's just good at this.
You're so good at this. You're so social. And I feel like you're the type of girl who like go up to girls and like start conversation and immediately click with them.
Look, I'm obsessed with people. I love people.
You're charismatic.
But thank you. I'm very lucky that meeting people and connecting with people is really easy for me. But something on the double edge to that sword is that I let a lot of people in without kind of properly taking the correct steps. I just get so excited about a shiny new friend where I then will be friends with that person for a long time and kind of realize that I've missed a lot of steps in those levels of trust. And the next thing you know, you have like friends or people that you're like, these are my friends, but they like kind of are haters.
Yeah, well, some people stick around just so that you don't get ahead of them.
It's insane.
You know? What are the key indicators for you guys when you're like, wait a minute, like this actually might not be someone that I want to trust?
My biggest thing, and this, for some reason, it takes me to get to this point to realize someone's not my friend, is that they speak poorly about me around guys. Like if it's a bunch of single girls and you're all out at a party, it's like the girls will find a way to make fun of you to the guys there. And that's something that I have seen happen so many times. Like I had a girl that I was really good friends with, loved her. We had known each other for years and years. And I realized whenever we'd go to parties, she would make fun of my shoes or she would make fun of my hair or she would do something to the point where one of the guys was like, I really like you and I'm like trying to talk to you, but your friend keeps saying crazy things about you and you should probably check in with her.
It's like male validation.
Male
Really
validation.
seeking male validation, which I don't know is like as much of a secret hater as it is just like an insecurity within themselves,
Mm-hmm.
which doesn't make for a good friend either.
Oh.
I don't think those people usually know how to be a friend.
My hot take is you cannot be friends with a girl if she's not incredibly confident in herself. Because if you are somebody that's a confident person that's seeking better for their life and you want more things and you want to accomplish more, you want to see more, you want to gain new experiences, other people around you, if they do not want that for themselves as well in their own way, will try to bring you down. It is the crabs pulling crabs down into a bucket. situation.
Confident or actively working on becoming a better version of themselves, becoming more confident. Because I feel like you can be insecure, but you can be aware and trying to work to better yourself. I feel like that's also a big thing, actively working. And you can also be insecure, but I feel like the ugliest trait is jealousy, and even confident people are incredibly jealous. And that can also be a very negative trait in someone when it comes to a friendship. So definitely like someone that's like not jealous of you and always is happy for your wins, is there to celebrate you, is there to cheer you on, is there to tell you, go girl, like keep doing what you're doing and bring you up. I feel like that's also very important. So back to what you were saying, I feel like another thing to watch out is friends, either girls or boys, that just never congratulate you.
Yeah.
Never are happy for your wins. They're
Never
not
give you their flowers.
Never.
It's becomes a competition, like a unsaid competition at that point between them and you. Not that you even know you're participating in, but they've got some sort of tally in their head, usually, if they're not congratulating you, or it's putting them down that you're winning instead of them being proud of you and excited for you. They're taking it personally as if they're not doing something good enough because you're winning. I usually avoid friends like that. I don't think I've had friends like that since high school, but I've encountered women like that I've started to allow to become my friend, and then been like, okay, wait a minute, like this is actually not somebody that I want to let into my inner circle. I think I've been best friends with the same 5 people for like 10 years, and every single time I get someone who's like starting to infiltrate it, usually some sort of sign arises, and I'm like, okay, let me reel it back.
I'm not great at that. I'm not great at like spotting those signs, because I just assume, I'm like, it's okay, like we do similar things, but like we're all so supportive of each other. And then next thing I know, I tell somebody, I'm like, I'm working on this, and then they put it out the next couple of days, and I'm like, oh,
Like they copy you.
yeah. I don't know. I'm somebody that's not good, and I just assume the best in people constantly, that I won't even realize that someone's trying to completely bring me down until it's like too late. Until somebody's sitting me down being like, hey, somebody is doing this and like you should check out. And I'm like, what do you mean? This is my friend.
You assume people have your heart. And I made a TikTok about this recently, but like the saddest thing about growing up is realizing that not everyone has your heart. Not everyone has your intentions. Not everyone thinks the way you think. And that could be disappointing sometimes, especially in friendships and female friendships, which I think female friendships are everything. Like no matter what, if you have a partner, if you are married and you have kids, you still need to have your friends. You still need to have your girlfriends. It is so essential. And I always tell my friends when they're getting in a relationship, like, don't lose your girls. Even if it takes some time to find them and some are not 100% genuine and you have to find your group, it's very important to have your girls.
I think it's also like you can only ever meet other people where they are willing to meet themselves. And I really do think everybody operates on such a different frequency. And when it comes to dating, I mean, men are just never going to be able to like look at each other the same way we are. I think it's so rare to see a guy that can even look at a girl the same way her girlfriends look at her. But think about your friends. Like you have to find people that have a similar heart to you, that operate at the same frequency. It's really hard to find compatible people, full stop, because you have to operate on a similar frequency and you have to have met yourself in the similar place where they've met themselves to get that real, true depth, that real best friendship. When it comes to a relationship, if it's not going well, you break up with the person because you can only have one partner. You're either putting all your effort into actively working on it, or you break up with that person. It's not working out. It's one or the other. But with a friend, you have the opportunity to have like a good handful of friends. You almost don't even spot these like hater inside the club comments.
Yeah, I feel like I do a lot of justifying, kind of like what you said, just assuming that people have the same heart I have and that they couldn't have meant it that way. Like there's no way that weird thing that happened was actually out of malintent. And that will happen and happen and happen again until something just like crazy happens. And you're like, okay, now I have to face the music that this person is actually a shitty friend.
And I want to make another point, but also if you're friends with someone, this has happened to me, and they are losing every single person around them. All their other friends are dropping them and they're coming to you and they're like, this person stopped being my friend and this person stopped being my friend. And I did this terrible thing to this person. You should also start thinking, is that someone that I really want in my life that doesn't have a good moral compass, that is doing these things to people, and every single person is dropping them and they're life.
Yeah.
Also think it's a red flag if all their friends are recent friends. They don't even have one old friend. I feel like that's also kind of a red flag.
I also think it's a red flag when someone only has old friends.
Yes.
I'm like me. No, I mean I
Oh, you
have.
don't. You make new friends all the time.
Yeah, I have new friends. I just have a
You
close
just
inner
you have your
circle.
lifers.
Yeah.
I'm like that. I have my best friends I've had since I've been my closest friend I've had since I was 3 years old, and then the rest since I was 12. And they're like they were my bridesmaids, my ride or dies. We have a group chat. Her name is BBOD, Bad Bitches or Die, from high school, and I love them. But of course, you make new friends, it's nice to have the core.
Yeah, I like bounced around and was homeschooled, so I don't. Do you still have? Well, I guess we're technically
We met at high school age. So
high school age. Yeah, I guess never mind. We just like didn't go to actual school.
We technically met in high school.
Like a homeschooled. That was a weird way to grow up. Anyway, do you guys bucket friends into categories at all? Like this friend is best for going out. This friend is really good for
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's normal. You have your like, married with kids friends that you go for brunch on Sundays, and then you have your fun friends where you do like some fun late night dinners, and then, chill friends that you go for workouts with.
Right.
I kind of look at my friends. Well, I look at all relationships in my life as this is me, and these are like who orbits my layers around me. So there's really like I don't really let anybody this close right now because I'm kind of like, okay, maybe I'll like let my partner in that close. Then I have like maybe 3 or 4 friends that I let this close. And then I have other friends that kind of are just in different places based on like how close I am to them in the moment, how frequently I'm seeing them, where I feel, whatever. Just to kind of like make sure I can protect myself after getting burned many times in friendships in life. I look at my friends as like I'm a casting director and here's this role, which friend is going to fit this role best for this thing. So sometimes I'll be like, I want to go on a crazy trip. I know there's some friends that will not want to ever leave their couch. I know I want to see a movie tonight. That's the friend for that. It's just like people like all different things. And when you're a multifaceted person, you want to do different things all the time. So you need to have different people to do different things with. But I have my friends that I'll call when I need a really deep chat and I need to cry about something. And then I have my friends that I will call if I just want to go get shit-faced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend the other day, she's like, I wanted to ask you if you wanted to go to this crazy like MGK party. But she was like, I don't know, it's not your vibe. People know typically what our vibe is. So
Yeah. But I still want to be invited.
yeah.
Like I want the opportunity
Oh
to
my
say
God.
no. I don't want people to
Yes,
assume.
yes.
I also don't want people to think I wouldn't just like go to their house and watch a movie on the couch.
You'll do that, but
I'll do
other things
that.
too.
I'm kind of the one that I will do anything.
Yeah.
If you want to rob a bank, I'll do it with you. If you want to go and watch a movie on your iPad in bed, I will also do that.
I want to be invited at everything and attend nothing.
Exactly.
Is that too much?
That is you. I was telling Alexa the other day too that she's somebody who knows so many fucking people.
Everyone.
She'll talk to me. She'll be like, "Oh yeah, Alex is gonna come here, and Phil's gonna do that, and then Joe's gonna be there." And I'm like, "Who are these people that you're talking about?" As if I know them. Like, who are they? And she's like trying to help me understand who they all are. And I'm like, the amount of friends that you have is so impressive. Never seen anything like it. You're a social butterfly. But how do you handle when one of those people starts to turn on you? Like, for instance, you start noticing that they are becoming more competitive or more toxic or, whatever it may be. What's your go-to?
My biggest passion in the world is other people. I believe that I go through life treating everybody as I would hope they would treat me because I view myself in a very high regard. I view other people in a very high regard. But not everybody cares. Not everybody has the same definition of a high regard. They could think, oh, I'm so nice to you when I see you. So like, why are you mad at me if I like whatever? Or like, oh, we're not that close. I don't actually consider you that close of a friend. Like, yeah, I talk shit about you. It's not a big deal. Everyone talks shit. Like people have said that. People have said that. And now I don't even care. I know how I treat people. That's my own karma. That's my own life. That's my own standard because how I treat other people is really just a standard of how I treat myself. They can move through life however. But now when people burn me or my feelings get hurt because I am very sensitive, it's just let them. If someone wants to steal my idea, let them. Good luck. You're not me. You don't have my secret sauce.
You can steal the recipe, but the sauce will never taste the same.
Exactly. It's like if you want to take that, good luck. Good luck. My side of the street is clean. I live my life with a good heart and with pure intentions. You can try to do what I'm doing. Good luck.
Rotten fruit will always fall by itself.
It'll be the first to drop.
Period. I have too much good. I look around and I'm like, look at all these amazing people in my life. Look at who's sitting on the couch with me. Like, how could I be stuck too long on someone who burns me when I have too many good other people around me? Of all the people I've met in the world, 99% of them have been good.
But it's easy to dwell on that, like, you know, very tiny percentage of people that have
Yeah.
wronged you, because you think to yourself, is something wrong with me? Did I do something wrong? But you also, I feel like it's important to realize that there are some friendships worth saving, the friendships that you've had since forever, and friendships that are just not worth, that you have accepted within yourself that this person is not a good person and it's not someone I want in my life. But I feel like we should also have space to have those conversations with people that we do want to keep in our life, people we do want to be friends with, have those awkward, sticky, nerve-wracking conversations. Because, and I saw this quote that it was like, people with low emotional intelligence will never have those conversations because they will think that it's an attack, and they will rather lose a friend than have a difficult conversation
100% of the time. And you have to remember that when somebody is trying to have a difficult conversation with you, it's because they give a fuck about you, right? Like a hard conversation is not easy to initiate. It's not easy to have. Even if you are emotionally intelligent, that's something that you have under your belt, it's still hard to do. So if they're trying to talk to you about that, or you're trying to talk to someone about that, it shows care. Definitely think that some friendships are worth it. But I've also gotten to the point where I've had people in my life that I thought were lifers, that just people grow and evolve all the time. And maybe who they were back then was somebody that I wanted in my life for the rest of it. And who they've become now is like, it's really hard to accept. It's kind of like a breakup, a romantic breakup, where you're like, okay, what I thought would be this happily ever after, and we're going to live across the street from each other and have kids that are going to be best friends. Like, maybe that's not now the reality with this, who this person has become, and kind of processing that. Like, that's something I did 2 years ago, which was really sad to do, but felt really right to do in my heart.
Yeah, if it feels right in your heart, then it's the right decision to make. It's also, I feel like, important to consider that every single person, every single friend you have has one default, and you have to accept that default. And Tinks talks about that. Have you seen that clip of hers? Where she's like, every friend has a default. Like, I know one of my best friends, her default is like, she's flaky. Like, I know she will 99% of the time she will flake on our plans, and that's her default, and I have to accept that, and I can never be mad at her.
You don't get to complain about it because you know that is
who she is. Another friend might be late, and that is her default. Like, you have to know your friends and know that they might have a default or two, and you have to accept them for that, and you cannot be mad. No. What do you think about that?
I 100% agree with you. I had one of my friends said this to me like forever ago. He was like, I just have horrible anxiety, and it's gotten a lot better. But my thing is, my friends know that I get very, very, very panicky, and they have to kind of like talk me off the ledge sometimes. And I was sitting there with my friend Nick, and I was like, Nick, I'm so sorry that this. He goes, Alexa, I've accepted that you're this panicky person. I've accepted it because on the other side, you're the most empathetic friend I've ever had in my life, that you can have as many panic attacks as you need because I've accepted it. It doesn't annoy me. It's who you are. I love you. And what I get on the other side of because you are stressed, you are this, is worth it for me. And I was like, and that's when Tink said that too. I was like,
that's your default.
I have a couple.
Mine is, I'm a terrible texter.
I was about to say that was mine.
I'm like so bad at it. Even though I'm on my phone 24/7 because of my job.
Why is it, do you think you're a bad texter?
I'm great at emails. So if I get an email, I'll immediately respond. I will never go to bed with unanswered emails.
Dude, what is that about? I love that you're this way too, because nobody ever is.
But because I saw a tip of someone very successful saying you should always answer your emails right away. And the most successful people respond to their emails immediately. But I'm really bad at texting. I think about my best friends every single day. Like, one of my best friends, she's a doctor. I think about her constantly. We're not texting every single day. And that's my default. I'm not a good texter, even though I think about my friends all the time.
Do you think it's because it's a different section of your brain? It's like your text. For me, I feel like my emails are the office side of my brain. And then my texts are like the bedroom side of my brain. My bedroom is always messy. My bedroom is only ever clean if I have to film in my bedroom. My office, though, is always tidy.
Because you know it's something that you have to do.
I spend no time working. I wish. Girl, I wish.
I'm playing with you.
I think it's
You
just
should.
also we're all working in social media. So we're
Yes.
required to be on our phones so much. My screen time, I'm sure, is terrifying.
Terrifying.
And so if I can spend time not responding to texts, I will take that. So I don't. And I feel bad because a lot of my friends, their love language is like words of affirmation. And they will text me 5-6 times in a row and be like, hello. And I'm like, hi, I'm so sorry. I'd rather just a FaceTime at that point. So how do you work on your, like, you just accept your default, you think? Or
So I make it a point every week to make sure I call a friend, I text them, just to like be a better communicator, you know, just like those little things, like making sure that every single week you shoot them a text, you send them a funny TikTok. That's my thing. I have my friends on TikTok and I'll send them thousands of TikToks. That's my way of communicating with them.
I like that.
Because also, like, we're at this age where nothing new is happening in our lives, really. We're just like, you know, another day. Alexa just asked me, like, what's new with you? And just chilling.
No news
So
is
it's
good news.
It's a way of communicating, just like sending a funny TikTok, sending something funny I saw on Instagram, a recipe that I feel like they should try. My friend just got a Ninja Creamy and I'm sending him 1,000 Ninja Creamy recipes.
They're the best.
I really want one.
You need to get a Ninja Creamy.
But I'm not going to clean it. I'm like,
Yeah,
I get lazy and
you do have to clean it.
that I really want a juicer, but like it's so much work
You have
cleaning
to get the
it.
juicers that clean themselves.
it's a lie. I have one of those. It's not true.
It's not true.
It's
You have
just
to
like
clean
go
it.
to
Not true. You still have to do it. And you still have to get every little piece of like carrot out of there. I bought a really nice juicer with like high hopes for myself. I haven't used it in a year.
Oh my God. I want to be like Nora Smith and just make my own sourdough and juice.
I don't even know the last time I like turned on an oven.
Also, I feel like another thing I find friends that are not that genuine do is like they never ever reach out to you. You always have to reach out first. And it got to the point where I had a friend where I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to reach out first.
Oh, yeah.
And they never messaged me back.
You never heard from them ever again?
I never heard from them ever again. Can you believe it?
That's wild.
One day I just like, I didn't reach out and they never to this day messaged me back.
That's like it's like an old
She hated
proverb
me the whole time probably.
No. It's just like stop watering plants that aren't going to grow. I don't think I have any friendships now where there's not a mutual understanding that we're adults and like we each get busy and we can come back to each other a month later and we'll pick up like
literally.
Yeah, when's the last time you guys saw each other?
Because I didn't get to see you on New Year's Eve. I don't know. It's been a long
time, but I feel like because I follow you on Instagram and I see everything and I feel like
I'm
and the
keeping up with you,
second we're reunited, we instantly talk as if no day has passed since the last day we saw each other. We're like, okay, what's new? You know,
fill me in on everything.
Yes.
What's actually going on?
Exactly.
And it's but that's what I think I'm at the age now where I really only have space for low maintenance friends.
Yes.
Like it doesn't, if I'm not texting you every day, if I'm not calling you every day, it's not because I don't love you and I'm not thinking of you and because I don't want to be supportive of you. I just genuinely, we all have so much going on in our lives. We all need to tend to all the things that are happening in our lives. And we need to just have faith in our friendships that it's going to be where it was when we were last. It's going to pick up where it left off. I think that's growing up and that's being an adult is just having faith in those kind of friendships. And I know everybody's not built that way, but that's kind of that's the only way I'm able to function in friendships and find success in friendships is having the common understanding that we're all busy people and we don't live
next to each other
all the time, and like we're traveling constantly, and like when we do see each other we give each other so much presence and we're there and we're totally showing up. But when and all those beats in between, that's kind of like the fun of it all too. You have so much to unpack when you see them. You have so much to chat about.
True.
And it's also so cool now that I've fully accepted that I can really only do low maintenance friends. It feels even more special when I do see my friends that are close friends, because even if it's someone like you or it's like a really, really close friend of a long time, we just haven't seen each other. There's moments where enough time has passed between us where I'm like, Chloe's really grown. Like when you see your friends all the time, you don't even really realize it, but it could be like 5 months we didn't see each other and you'll handle a situation differently, or the way that you handle yourself. I remember when I saw you in New York, you had moved to New York, I was in LA, we hadn't seen each other in like 6-7 months. And the way that you just like walked into a restaurant and asked for a table, you would have never done in LA. And I was like, the bitch has been in New York. I see. And she sat down and she's
Surviving in New York.
these are all my new goals. And I'm like, okay, bitch, like, look at you.
I love that.
There's something cool about that where it's like, she's not calling me every day being like, this is my new goal. This is my whatever. But when I see her, it's like even more exciting. It's like, I'm always thinking of you. I'm always rooting for you. I'm always like, if you ever need me, I'm here. But I can't check in every day.
Yeah, and
But
I'm not expecting you to. I think that's when
No.
a friendship, and this is my own hot take. I said something similar on TikTok and I got so much hate about it. So maybe
Lay it
it's a true hot take. But friends who are expecting you to constantly check in and be like, how's this going? How's that going? On a daily basis, not just like a week or a month. I think that's what you should be doing. You should be checking in with your friends and being like, hey, what's up? How's this? How's that? But consistently, like as much as a boyfriend would with you or a husband. It's just kind of like a lot for me, especially. Maybe I need low maintenance friends too. I'm like learning this from you right now. But those are my closest friends, the ones that are like you. I have a friend named Michael and a friend Anna. They are both people who are also very busy, and I think that helps, but who are just like, wow, I'm watching you from afar and I'm proud of you. I know you're busy, so don't bother responding. I'll talk to you in a week during our FaceTime. And I appreciate the maturity that's behind that instead of animosity toward the fact that like I can't set time aside this week. Does that make sense?
Yes. I feel like it also depends on the stage in your life. I feel like back when I was in high school, I would talk to my friend 24/7. She knew what I had for breakfast, what I had for lunch. And we were like this. And then as you get older, you start meeting more people, you start working more, you start getting in relationships and you get married, you have children. So it depends on the stage in your life. Maybe you got hate because it got targeted to like a younger demographic.
It's a really good point.
But I feel like the older you get, the more people understand that low maintenance friendships are important. And it's nice to have those friends that, you don't have to call every day and they're always there for you, that you can always count on them. But it's okay if they cancel last minute because their kid got sick. It's okay if they can't call you every week because they're busy with work. It's okay if they can't do dinner on Saturday because they have to go see their in-laws. It's part of life. And
right.
Yeah.
Life is long. Like life is short, but life is also long. Like you have a whole lifetime to be friends with people. Like I have this single friends that will just bail last minute because they're tired. I'm like, that's so annoying. But then you do have your friends that you're like, oh my God, you're managing a family and we're in different life stages. And oh my God, this is crazy that you're like, don't worry, I'll see you when I see you. Life is, your child is sick. Don't get on the train right now and come see me for brunch. Like, you're so good, babe.
Yes. But also like finding a balance. I feel like, as I said before, female friendships to me are everything. It's like my therapy. It's my happiness. I feel recharged when you hang out around the correct people that you should be around, the people that give you energy. You feel so amazing afterwards. You feel so fulfilled, and in a way where nothing else compares than spending a fun day with your girlfriend, shopping and laughing and having amazing conversations and bonding. To me, it's an essential part of life and happiness and stability. And I feel like every woman and man should prioritize their friendships and spending time with their friends.
Yeah, it really gives you a big refresher. You're like, life is worth living after hanging out with your girlies.
God, I think that's so much.
Huge indicator of a healthy, wholesome friendship and a toxic one too. Like you leave feeling recharged versus drained.
Oh my God.
Feeling empowered versus criticized.
No, there's been times where I'll hang out with certain people and then I feel like I need to nap because I'm so drained. I feel like I can't talk to anyone. I'm just like in my zone, just like trying to recover from, sucking in all this bad energy, and you need to recharge. And
being around bad energy, even if it's not outright, but when it's just subtly there, really does a number on me. I've also noticed with fake friends that they tend to point out in very subtle ways or hold against you your insecurities as opposed to making you feel better about them. So let's say I am insecure about my hair.
I was actually just thinking how much I love your hair right now. And then you said, unlike my hair. And I was like, oh my God, I was just thinking how much I love your hair.
Thanks. But it's just the subtle jabs, you know what I mean? Where they know what's going to hurt you more than anything. And they will capitalize on an opportunity to subtly throw the dagger in, which I think is where the part of me is like, they didn't mean that way. I'm being too sensitive.
And you're like, no, they did. Even if they didn't realize they did, they don't like you.
It's just a crazy behavior to have toward people. There was a situation once where I was someone told me to wear a Halloween costume that she wanted me to wear. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm excited about it. And I showed up in my Halloween costume, and in front of everyone, she was like, oh, I was doing this and she was supposed to do it with me. We were supposed to look ugly together, but she just went around behind my back and decided to look pretty. So I guess I'm the only ugly one. And I was like, okay, like I told you I was going to wear this Halloween costume. It was just a weird, petty high school thing to do. And it was a moment for me where I was like, that was weird. Why are we shady behavior right now?
I feel like the best part of being an adult, though, is not having to deal with those high school type friendships. And you can easily be like, you know what? This is not my vibe. That's like the best part of being an adult, I swear. Like not having to deal with the mean girls that you deal with in high school.
Yeah.
Because you can literally be like, not my vibe. I'm out. Peace.
Or just, I don't deal with this. Goodbye.
Not my
Literally.
circus, not my monkeys.
Not my
Bye.
circus,
Yeah,
not my
boundaries.
monkeys.
Boundaries
Yep.
are crucial.
Boundaries are cool, and being an adult is cool because you can enforce them.
Were you ever bullied in high school?
Girl, I had to go to so many different schools because I was so bullied. It was so bad. Like I was getting sent to a new school every couple of years just because it was like hated my life
It's
growing
just
up.
consistent.
So consistent. At one point, the kids at school like threatened to like unalive me. They had to like pull me out, take me to this tiny school. Just like I've
my
also just
God.
been such a sensitive kid my whole life. I've been so sensitive and I've cared so much my whole. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. That yeah, I think that's also probably why friendship is hard for me because now I'm 30 years old, but every now and again, isn't that crazy?
You're literally 20.
I'm literally 30.
You look like an infant.
Well,
I would
thanks,
card
girl.
you.
Thanks. I'll take it. But it's crazy because even at 30, you're like, okay, I've really grown. But the friendship bully pains still sit so heavy. Like my craziest bullying story it's gut wrenching. When I was a kid, I grew up in Laguna Beach where all the girls are very, very thin, very blonde, and very, very tan. And now I'm like have spray tans. But
Now you're
growing
like,
up as
I'm
a
thin
kid, I
blonde.
had dark hair. I was like kind of overweight, really, really pale skin. I remember no one would invite me to their sleepovers ever. And I just kind of got used to it at one point. I had like a couple friends at one point. I was okay. I was so creative. I was writing. I was okay. The kids weren't nice to me at school, but I was making my way through it. But I remember this one girl was like, I want you to come to my sleepover. I'm having a sleepover for my birthday. And I was so excited to go to the sleepover. And my mom kind of like checked in with her mom, like, are you sure? I go and like all the girls are like talking in a circle and they're like not necessarily being nice, like mean or nice to me, whatever. We all go to sleep and I wake up and they write like fat whale on my forehead. And they had like taken my stuff and like broke all of it. And it was like probably like 5 a.m. I took my phone. We had like my little flip phone and I like ran out of this girl's house and I started just like running down the street calling my mom until she answered. And I remember she like looked at my forehead. It was like Sharpie and I couldn't go to school until we washed it all off. And I remember just like all the
I hope
girls.
she got reported to the principal.
I don't know what happened. I think all those girls are like successful and happy and like they some of the girls have apologized about it. But like apparently they had like posted pictures and like sent it around to the school.
How old were you?
13 years old.
Middle school?
Middle school
Middle
sucked.
school's the worst.
And then that was the
Wow.
first thing that happened. And then the boys threatened to like unalive me. They like sent me like a thing of how they were gonna like
Some
unalive me.
boys are really
The
fucked
boys are
up in
worse.
school too. Yeah.
But anyway, that was just like one of my bullying stories. Like childhood was rough with friends. And thankfully I have a couple of friends that I grew up with that are still the most lovely people that were there for me. And like I love them. My childhood friends are like my everything. They're my sisters. Like I love them. But it was brutal. And even now it's like you guys are both like, oh, Alexa knows everybody. Like she's like it's I don't know if it's because like because I was so bullied and because I've known what it feels like to feel so unwanted somewhere, I just never want anybody to feel that feeling. It's the worst feeling I've ever felt is feeling like I just wasn't as good as other people or I was weird or I was whatever. And so it's like when you live your life and that's such a priority is making sure everybody feels like they have a place and that they're seen and that they can be who they are and still be welcomed at the table. You do think like I am putting this effort in my heart because that's who I am. When people flip the switch and they're like, they do something behind your back or they speak poorly about you, you find out people are talking about you. You're like, what do you mean? Here I am like trying to make sure you feel good at the table and you've been doing this the whole time. Maybe it is a trauma response where I feel it's so important to make people feel good about themselves while they're at my table. But it's how I am. So yeah, I think the reason why I love people and I love being around people and them being seen is because I was so bullied and I didn't have any friends at one point that I want everyone to feel like they have a friend. But not everybody else cares. Not everybody else was bullied in middle school. Not everybody else was bullied at the sleepover. And a lot of people don't look at that as a priority to them, and that's okay. You find the people that do, and that's who you, when you find the other bitches that were bullied at the sleepover in adulthood, and you guys have figured your shit out and you are who you are, those are your fucking sisters. Those are your fucking sisters.
You have such a good, group of friends around you now, and it's terrible what you went through, but as you said, it only made you stronger. It made you a better person. It made you an incredible friend. It made you so warm and inviting, and always making sure you're talking to the new girl in town. And, you asked me for a coffee when I had no friends, and you were so nice to me. And, people will always remember that. I always tell my sister, she's 16, she's in high school, always go talk to the new kid. Always go talk to the kid that's eating their lunch alone. Go talk to them. Always.
I feel like, were you ever bullied? Why are we talking about being bullied now?
I mean, I think that those years kind of solidify how you feel for a long time until your frontal lobe starts developing about friendships, right? I was bullied too. I don't need to get into all that because this is not I don't want to
This is not the bullying podcast episode.
How can you tell the difference between a friend checking, a toxic friend, or could be like a good friend, checking in on you, or they're surveilling your life?
Damn. How do you?
I feel like when it's not an organic way of approaching, a friendship or a conversation, it's more like, what about this? What about that? You can tell they're trying to
pry in.
Yes. But I don't know. It's something that I always think about.
I'm very hyper vigilant when it comes to tones.
Yes. Energy and tones.
Energy, tones, micro expressions. I studied that in my early 20s because I was just so obsessed with human behavior. And it's also probably definitely a trauma response for me too. But I'm just paying closer attention to their tone, the way they've said it, why they've said it, where it came from. Overthinking, really. That's what I do. And I could be wrong. I think that's also something that I've accepted is sometimes my perspective is fucking wrong about somebody. And maybe they're not toxic. Maybe they're actually just a good friend that I've started to read the wrong way. And that's why I also think that open communication is so key in all interpersonal relationships that we have. And if you're able to sit down with somebody and have a hard conversation and have open communication, that would alleviate 99% of the quote unquote drama that comes from friendships. If you're able to both sit there, it takes two to tango.
Okay, but can you forgive and forget?
I do not forget, but I do forgive.
I kind of just get unbothered to the situation eventually. I forgive selfishly. I selfishly forgive because it's the only way you can really move on.
You forgive for yourself.
I forgive for myself. There's some people that you're they don't deserve my forgiveness. They don't, but I deserve my forgiveness for them.
I love that.
Yeah.
You have to forgive. But yeah, I don't forget.
You don't either, yeah.
You have to always keep it in the back of your head, and it depends on, again, the friendship and the depth of the friendship, and if it's a friendship that's been around for years and years, or if it's a new friendship and they do you dirty, and you forgive, but you
don't forget.
You cannot forget.
It's never going to be the same.
No, I take note of people who do me dirty. And even if I do allow them back into my life, I've had a friendship that has been repaired years later, but I still, of course, am on edge and aware of what happened before and making sure that history isn't repeating itself. Because I think when you forget, you allow yourself to repeat your mistakes, which I don't want to be in a toxic cycle with anybody. I'm good on that, right? Forgiving, so crucial. I don't want to be walking around harboring anger towards somebody. But I don't think that when I forgive someone who's done me really, really wrong, I'm genuinely being like, they didn't mean it. It's okay. I forgive you. I think forgiveness for me is more of just I'm not going to give this my full attention anymore, or my heart anymore, or my energy anymore. And I'm going to release that from my system and let it go. That's my version of forgiveness at this point.
And I think that someone that does you dirty and that's not a good friend, that's a mean girl, they're dealing with their own issues. They're going through it internally, whether we can see it or not. They are battling something, because no one is just plain out mean. From my experience, no one is just mean and not nice. It's usually that they're going through something, and they're battling with something internally. That's why I always tell my friends that, maybe they'll get a bad comment on their TikTok or Instagram. I'm would you ever comment something negative on someone's Instagram? No, you wouldn't. Like, it takes a certain type of mindset and a certain type of person to comment something negative. So always think that they're going through something that maybe you don't know about. They're battling something that you are not aware of. So always have that grace and know that maybe they, in their childhood, were given less love than they deserved. Maybe instead of unconditional love from their parents, they got a very strict approach to parenting. And that has made them resent parts of themselves that, manifest in being not a nice person. So always consider that and trying to look at the bigger picture. It's their first time living in this earth as well, their first time doing life. So always trying to think about, okay, what did they go through? What was their childhood like that made them act this way? That also helps me a lot come to terms with someone being mean to me or rude to me, because it makes me get a better understanding of the situation.
Right. I do the same. I think that's just being a highly empathetic person and putting yourself in their shoes. I have to be careful with understanding someone versus justifying somebody's actions.
Totally.
I think I've been on like a journey in the last 2 years with my therapist of being really understanding, being like, it makes sense why they were doing this to me because they've been through so much lately and they are going through a divorce or a breakup and they're fighting with their parents. So of course they just like lashed out at me, which is okay to be understanding, but be careful with justifying and letting someone in who keeps doing the same thing too.
Completely. Like I have moments where I realize like I've been really lucky where I've either, had great psychological support or emotional support. I've been really lucky that I've had an opportunity to heal and to grow as a person, and not everybody else has had that opportunity. So you're sitting there and you're like, yeah, I've had an amazing opportunity to heal, and if I have, why am I going to let somebody else's lack of healing journey affect the amount of work I've done on my own?
1000%. I had a quote that was like, what was it? You it's not your job to be an energy source for someone who hasn't done the inner work yet. Yeah.
I love that.
And I have spent way too much time. I cannot afford to let somebody else's lack of healing journey impact mine.
But I literally can't afford my therapist.
I can't afford it.
Like 5 hours a week. No.
I love that.
Yeah.
I would own a house if I didn't have to go to as much therapy as I had to go to. I would be a property owner. No, you think I'm kidding. I'm not. I would own property. Lots of it.
Well, you will. You will in the future. It'll all pay off. It's
I think the therapy was a better investment than the house, because I function on a day-to-day.
This is the house you live in.
House,
The real house.
The real house.
The real house.
Oh, okay. Love this. I was expecting to go in this conversation. It'd be like, fake friends do this and wholesome friends do this. And it became a really honest, sweet conversation.
I think this conversation went from being this like what we would typically structure as like when guys do this and guys do that. You can't do those same conversations with girlfriends, because women are poetry. Women are poetry in the way that they have beauty in their friendships, complexity in their friendships. Men can, I think, structurally go into a relationship being like, I'm going to be a dick to her. But girls can't do that to each other, even if we want to. Like, I just don't think. That's why I don't think there's like, oh, she's like a bad friend or she's a this friend. It's like women are just complex and complicated. And I think very rarely do your bad friends even try to come into your life to fuck you up. It's just, it's like an easy place to come and be bad because it's so understanding and it's so sensitive and it's just so raw.
It's girlhood.
It's girlhood.
We're just girls.
I'm gonna start girls.
We're literally
Everyone's
just
a girl
girls. Should
trying
we
to
hold
figure it
hands?
out. We're like crying together. No, I agree. I did expect it it's not even that I expected it. It's just that when we wrote it out, the outline of this episode, we had bullet points that were like, fake friends do this, real friends do that. But yeah, the reality of female friendships is so much deeper and more complicated. And I think that's why falling outs with women hurt more, because you have such a complex, deep understanding of one another that it feels like you're having someone rip out the depths of your soul and you're like, why would you do that to me? But
you've seen everything. Why are you going to destroy it?
Yeah, they've seen everything.
Yeah.
If they're one of your closest friends, they know you better than most people do, right? And it's sad to come to terms with, but I also think that I agree with you. Most of the time, it's not out of malintent. It's just out of outgrowing each other, out of being hurt or unhealed on the inside and acting out and lashing out and projecting.
And being a human is just complicated and it's messy, and we're like, none of us are good at it.
Yeah.
We're all figuring it out for
Yeah.
the first time. This is our only chance in this lifetime. And the best thing we can do is wake up every day and be like, how can I be the best friend that I want to have? How can I show up to my friends the way I want them to show up to me? Whether it is sending a funny Instagram post or calling or FaceTiming or arranging a coffee date, whatever it is, just wake up and show up the way you want them to show up for you.
And being understanding of your friends' defaults. I love
Yes.
that. And knowing that that's just like who they are and what they have as an integral part of their personality and working with it.
Knowing your default and knowing that
Mhm.
how can you improve this and be better at it.
Yeah. Well, you were a great friend in coming on today. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
It's been
Thank you
such
for
a joy to
having
have
me.
you here. And
Girl
like,
time.
yeah, like what a treat.
This feels like a sleepover.
I know that'd be so cute one day, like a sleepover theme.
Yes.
Okay, well, where can the people find you? What are your handles?
Okay. You can find me on TikTok at Anastasia, very simple, and on Instagram at Anastazia Dupee. I also post weekly YouTube vlogs. You can find me on YouTube at Anastazia Dupee. And I think that's all.
She's just the comfort creator you need. If you don't watch her content, you need to. She is my comfort creator and my friend.
You're
How
my
lucky did I
comfort
get?
creator. You should start vlogging more.
I should start.
She should.
I'm just like kind of embarrassed how
You're in your TikTok era.
Yeah, I am. I'm embarrassed how unconventional and out of control my life is. I don't know if I'm ready.
That's what
to
people
share
love.
day
That's
to
the
day.
appeal.
People comment on my videos. They're like, travel, go do something. I'm like,
Girl. That's why I watch your content. It makes me feel grounded. I'm like, wow, what's it like to have a husband and a home?
You can find her links below. I'll put them in the Spotify. Thank you so much for coming and giving your big sister advice.
doing all the hearts.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.